A man named Rudius lives a normal life. He is 34 years old. One day a truck hits him and he was about to die. Suddenly he wakes up as a baby in another world. As he was a young, mature person in real life, it takes him less time to figure out that he is currently in a European village. He gets to see his mother Zenith, a healer, and his father Paul, a swordsman. As Rudius is growing up, he tries to learn magic and thus discovers that he can do magic without any incantation. One day Rudius was practicing magic when he destroyed a part of the house. This captured his parents' attention. After seeing their son's ability to use magic, his parents decide to hire an adventurer, Roxy. The reason for doing that is to help Rudius to excel in his skill. Although Roxy was initially reluctant, as Rudius is still very young, but decides to stay with their decision when she discovers his ability. She becomes jealous of Rudius and his powers, so she swears to make the best effort. The family welcomes Roxy with open hearts. Rudius knows that he has to make his life worth it. He gets a flashback of the time when he was kicked out of the house and he saved some kids before getting hit by a truck while using earth magic. 6 months have passed and Rudius can use intermediate magic with ease. Later, Roxy reveals to Rudius that she is the demon, and parents were not happy to have her. She tells him about a special demon race called the Super. They have been terrorizing people for about 400 years. Sometimes she is also mistaken as a Supered because her hair color changes and looks similar to the Super. More than a year has passed and Rudius is now 5. He even gets a sword as a gift from his father. Roxy gifts him a ward and thus realizes that she has nothing more to teach to him. So she will conduct a final exam for Roxy, after which he would graduate. The next day arrives and Roxy and Rudius leave the home. When they reach a village, Rudius have another flashback of the time he was bullied by his classmates. But he was able to overcome this as he saw Roxy easily blending with people. For the exam, Rudius has to summon a thunderstorm, which he easily does, as Roxy declares him a graduate before parting their ways. Rudius' parents are over the moon when they realize that finally he does go outside. One day Rudius was enjoying his time reading a book alone when he notices a group of 3 friends bullying one of their friends. This infuriates Rudius as he rushes to help the half-elf child Sylph while remembering the time he was bullied. Sylph thanks Rudius for his help and they soon become friends. Rudius even teaches Sylph to use magic. 6 months later, a very strong storm forces Rudius to bring Sylph home. Although Rudius is very happy about him staying with his friend, his parents do not like this. As the storm has made both of them wet, Rudius forces them on having a bath together. During the bath, Rudius realizes that Sylph changed her appearance as a boy, as in reality she is a girl. Her real name is Sylphiet. Rudius is shocked to know about this and apologizes for having a bath together. But this has left Sylphiet in an uncomfortable situation. She decides to ignore Rudius as much as possible. Rudius does not like this change in her behavior. Some time has passed and now Sylphiet is feeling the absence of Rudius. She eventually decides to meet him and clear the misunderstanding. Both are now determined to stand through thick and thin with each other as they are each other's first friends in this life. Zenith announces her pregnancy, which makes all of the family members enjoy this time. But their happiness does not last long when their maid Lilia also reveals her pregnancy, thus revealing about Paul having an extramarital affair with her. Rudius, who senses the whole situation and the effects, decides to step in. He convinces Zenith to forgive Lilia as she wasn't the dishonest one. Rudius places all blame on Paul. His plan works as Zenith forgives Lilia. 9 months later, both gave birth to 2 beautiful baby girls, Norn and Aisha. Rudius decides to leave the village and continue his study at Rono Magic Academy. Rudius breaks this news to Sylphiet, but she doesn't want to join the academy as it is too expensive. Rudius takes matters into his own hands and starts looking for their job so that he could pay his and Sylphiet's tuition fees. Rudius' family is not happy about all of this, so he was forcefully sent with Ghislaine, a beast woman. She is an old family friend of the family. She takes Rudius with her, thus creating distance between Rudius and Sylphiet. As Rudius wakes up in a cart, the lady throws a letter at him written by Paul. In the letter, Paul tells him that he has to teach someone for 5 years. Not only this, but Paul also warns Rudius not to come back to the village at least for 5 years. And he should not contact Sylphiet as she was stopping him from growing up. This makes him sad. Soon the cart reaches Row, where he meets Mayor Philip Boreas and his family cousin. Rudius is shocked to meet him as he had not expected of having a relationship with such high people. He is not even told about his student who is Philip's daughter Eris. When he meets Eris, she beats him up, revealing the reason of why till now no one was able to teach her. Rudius knows he has to get the work done. For this, he comes up with a plan of fake kidnapping and the advantages of magic. He even discusses the idea with the mayor, and mayor likes the idea. Kidnapping goes according to the plan, but this wasn't enough for Eris to accept Rudius. So he gives her two options: either she cooperates with him or he will leave her. With no other options left, Eris listens to him and both return to Rho. After the events that took place, Rudius was finally able to be elected as her tutor. This makes Phillips happy as he was the first to force her into the stuff she does not like, but still he warns him and reveals his contacts. Now it is official as Rudius gets his first job. Ghislaine takes up the task to give her swordsmanship training, while Rudius has to teach and train Eris how to do magic and how to reach arithmetic calculations, etc. Soon enough, Eris training starts as Rudius gets to work, but Eris again starts acting the way she used to do before. Rudius suspects that it might be too much burden for Eris, so he gives her a day off every week. They plan to go into town and thoroughly explore the area that day. In the market, Rudius figures out the prices of various goods and converts them into yen. A book catches Eris's attention, and she requests that Rudius let her buy the book, but he refused and told her that she did not have money. If she needs money for her experiences, she has to ask her father for her allowance. Eris talks to her father about the allowance and gets it. His plan has worked as the excitement to go to market has forced Eris to pay attention to classes and attend regularly. Next time the two head to market, Eris buys the book she wanted to buy previously and also a vial. She gifts the vials to Rudius. The gift makes him tense as he cannot tell her or Ghislaine about it. That's an aphrodisiac, not a vial. Time has passed as Eris is about to turn 10. On her 10th birthday party, as per tradition, she has to dance with a noble. The clock is ticking fast, and there is less time for Eris to learn how to dance. Rudius suggests her dance instructor give her extra classes as this would help her. In the meantime, Rudius learns new languages with the help of Roxy. Rudius is a fast learner as he is doing well, while Eris has not been able to improve her dancing skills. She decides to give up, but Rudius keeps motivating her. The day has come as today is Eris's 10th birthday, and her grandfather has arranged a birthday party for her to which all the nobles are coming. A noble invites Eris to dance and she accepts, but during the dance Eris couldn't perform well and fell on another noble. After witnessing this, Rudius decides to intervene and assist Eris in returning home. The two start to dance successfully and Rudius tells Eris to use her fighting skills in her move. This helped Eris and saved her birthday from being a disaster. After the birthday party, Rudius meets Soros, Eris' grandfather. Just as the two are engaging in a conversation, Soros notices a strange ball of light in the sky. This ball made Soros think of it as an ominous sign. 2 years have passed since Rudius began teaching Eris. Rudius had now become an important part of the family. So important that Phillips throws a surprise party for Rudius on his 10th birthday. Rudius does not seem to be happy enough, despite having various people perform in front of him. The reason is that his own family did not attend his birthday party because of the increasing monsters in the country. Phillips expresses his desire to see Eris marry Rudius during the party, but Rudius rejects the offer on the spot. After the party is over, he finds Eris in his room waiting for him. Rudius tries to take advantage of her, but quickly realizes his mistake. He immediately asks for forgiveness, which Eris gives him. A few days have passed and the sky is filled with mana clouds. Pergus Dula, also known as the hero, sends Almanfi to investigate the matter. Ghislaine and Eris are suspicious of Rudius as he was the one practicing with hidden weapons. According to them, it could be a result of that. Their opinion changes quickly as Almanfi attacks Rudius. Ghislaine leans on her support and helps him as if the clouds were present. Because of Rudius, he could have predicted the attack and acted accordingly. Rudius has a flashback to a fight with the human god who told him to be patient and trust the person he meets. This flashback brings him back to the present, where he notices himself and Eris being strangled in the middle of the demon continent. A member of the fearful supered race Ruijerd Superbia meets Rudius. He introduces himself as Rudolph's friend and promises to help him go back from where he came. Ruijerd does as he says as he brings Eris and Rudius to a village. This village was also Roxy's birthplace, So Erica and Rudius get to meet her parents. Rudius learns about Rudyard's story while staying with him. He explains to him that his village is considered cursed because they receive a cursed spear from the demon god Laplace. The spear turns them into mindless murderers. Not only did this Rudyard's son have the spear, but he also broke the curse by killing his own son. Rudyard's conversation shows the willpower he has to clear his village name. Rudius decides to help him in his mission. So Rudyard, Rudius, and Eris leave the village safely. After traveling for some time, they reach the city of Rikarisu. Now the problem is that Rudyard has to enter the city without being noticed or creating a scene. So Rudius suggests that Rudyard dyed his hair and change his identity. Rudius tells Rudyard to tell everyone that you are a member of the Migurdia tribe. As Rudyard has temporarily changed his identity, the group becomes an official adventure group. But the issue is that their novice status is low, which means they would not be getting paid enough to make ends meet. Rudius also fails to bring up a solution this time, so the human god interferes and communicates through Rudius. He tells Rudius to accept the challenge to find the lost pets as a group. Rudius takes the human god's suggestion seriously and accepts the quest. This quest helps the group meet with another group of adventurers. The group kidnaps the pets and then accepts the task of finding them making money like this. The two groups get into a fight, and soon the other group is defeated. Rudius tries confronting them, but one of the members of their group attacks Rudius from behind. This makes Rudyard angry, and he kills the member of the other group instantly. When Rudius comes back to his senses, he asks Rudyard to explain what he just did. Rudius had forbidden Rudyard not to kill someone until it was the only case of self-defense. The group is able to increase their status as they just defeated the enemies who were on a higher level. A higher level means that they will get better quests and will be rewarded accordingly. Back in the Fitau, Roxy hadn't been able to receive any letters from Rudius in the past few days. This makes her worried. As in the Grayat family, except for Paul and Norm, everyone else had gone suspiciously missing. While Rudius and his companions accept a new mission to catch the monster, which is currently in the middle of the forests, when the group arrives at the location, they discover that two other parties have accepted the same quest and that everyone in their group is present. When they got near the monster's location, Rudius decided to stop back as the other group was also heading forward towards the monster. He did this so that he could see how the monster would react and keep Eris safe. His plan worked out fine as the members were killed and eaten by the monster. Another group standing there goes to confront Rudius. As a member informs Rudius that he is aware of his plan to save Eris at any cost and that Rudyard is not a human. This makes Rudyard angry, and he agreed to what he has said with the condition that if he would spit out the beans, he would give them to him. Rudyard leaves the area after accepting everything about him. Rudius follows Rudyard outside the city and both reconcile with each other. The trio decides to continue their journey as they reach the coastal city, which is at the edge of demon territory. Unbeknown to poor Rudius, Roxy was on her way to find Rudius with two old Paul's partners.